Hello everyone, dear friends. With you is the Encyclopedia of Real Men in the studio of the Anton Men's Media Center, and this is Men's Territory.
Мужская территория.
This video is absolutely not comedic, absolutely not hype, not commercial. I don't think it will get many views, but I would like this video to convey what is happening.
Я этим роликом все-таки донес то, что происходит.
Got to the point, as they say, yes. It's a men's league again.
Мужская лига.
In addition to the fact that the Armenian, who calls himself not just the president, he really calls himself the deuce of this men's league. Yes, that is, comparing himself with Mussolini. We draw a parallel. In addition, they have a lot of dust, a lot of talk about doing something. And once again, we see, here they come, here they're here the screenshots of what they are doing. I'm not going to talk about the situation. Yes, comment on it, but another father happened again. Well, let it be a terrible thing.
Пусть это будет ужасная вещь.
Happened to another father. I'm sorry, I'm recording all this without preparation. I'm going to tell you what it's all about. A terrible thing happened to another father. They took the child, everything is as it should be, and then, for the sake of hype, this friend here, who is sitting in a t-shirt, is written there on the t-shirt, a man's vagina. Everything is as it should be. In general, ran to look for his father. There is something to help. Let's start with what kind of character it is. This is a character who volunteered there to help his father, who is upset. I absolutely understand why he's upset. That is, when you are attacked from all sides, children are taken away. There are these masks of the show with machine guns. I've been through it all too. They broke into my house, broke down the door at 12 at night. A crowd of people with machine guns. Everything is fine there. Then yes, you feel like you're drowning, absolutely unstable, and you're trying to cling to each cane. Here a friend came running to help something there. This friend called me to fight. Behind the garages. But that's not the point. Who is this guy? This is a man who has been fucking up the courts for years, does not achieve anything, does not see his children himself, but apparently knows how to return children. Other men. And here is an interesting statistic. These men's leagues have been working for less than a year, and in a year, they have 2 errand boys and 2 dead fathers.
2 побегушника и 2 мертвых отца.
2 dead men. That is, let's give one of them an errand boy, by the way. I am absolutely against running away with a child somewhere in the country, in the former Soviet Union, because the child, whatever one may say, needs a mother. No matter how bad it is, the child needs medical care, medical supervision, and comprehensive and harmonious development.
И во всестороннем и гармоничном развитии.
Being in their chat, they have a lot of chats. They are all cells there. They say we have cells, representative offices. Being in their chat, I watched a picture where here is a man who later died. I don't know why he died, but he is no longer alive. This man was looking for a conviction. In order to, well, that is, he was looking for someone who is ready to accept him and his son for a couple of years, until something is resolved there. As a result, he took the child from his wife in print. In St. Petersburg, I took him somewhere to the Tula region. In the Tula region, of course, immediately got into the federal wanted list because the scheme has worked. The scheme worked out after such characters as Saprykin. And this, for a second, the fathers of the country is Abdulhak, who is friends with Armensky. Google about Saprykin. He broke his wife's photo card in St. Petersburg and ran away somewhere with the child. And they searched for him for a long time. 3,000 kilometers from St. Petersburg, they found him. The child was taken away. The mother was given and tightened. The principle of weaning children from fathers in this case. In general, the same man took the child, took him somewhere there to the Tula region. The bailiffs collectively, yes, this whole system declared him a federal wanted list. He was found. The child was taken away, and the bailiffs. They did it quite pretentiously, quite significantly.
Достаточно пафосно, достаточно показательно.
Before the new year, they covered it so through their press centers that the bailiffs returned the inconsolable child to the mother. I don't care about my father. It is clear what kind of people gathered there, what kind of experts, and how they support men in principle. People who themselves have no experience.
Которые сами не имеют никакого опыта.
For cooperation, notice I did not say in the struggle. There is no need to fight here. It is useless here. There is no experience in interacting with guardianship authorities, or with prosecutors' offices, or with any investigative bodies, or with education. With nothing. They climb someone somewhere, not with bailiffs. Yes, they climb someone somewhere to help something. I am, for a second, being the chairman of the public movement Papa. We have been working since spring, since 2023. On the basis of the charter, we carry out our activities. We have positive examples. In particular, there is my close friend Denis from Nizhny Novgorod. He has 2 years of courts, 2 years of courts, more than 1.5 million rubles of money, and 2 children.
Рублей денег и 2 детей.
Who live on the court with him now. How did it happen? Because the lawyer was normal. I've already said it many times, and I'm specifically shooting this video for those who fucking think that he can cheat the system. Those who say that you can represent yourself in court are lies. Those who say that lawyers and peacedobles are partial lies, you can only believe the lawyer who has shown himself, proved himself by years of positive judicial practice, and won. Court cases. We have such lawyers. And in St. Petersburg, and in Moscow, and in Nizhny Novgorod. What am I leading to? God forbid, now this one. Just watch how it turns out. When you are in a situation where no one is supporting you, you are really ready to cling to any opportunity. And when some person appears who gives the impression of an expert of some important, serious, then you really want to trust him.
То действительно хочется ему довериться.
Why am I getting this? I'll be honest, I was just as screwed up at the time. I'm the same alienated parent.
Я такой же отчужденный родитель.
I was taken away by a child, I say, with cops, broken doors, threats from the cops. There are very serious cops, but this is a separate conversation. I succumb to the expertise that people claim.
На экспертность, которую люди заявляли.
As an expert, I succumb to the entreaties of their expertise.
Об их экспертности.
They convinced me to go to court, and in this court, I really began to represent myself. In general, in short, I sucked it in full. I don't like parental rights a little. I almost flew into a fucking psychological examination, forced, thanks to these people who have nothing to do with the court, the fucking police, the bar, or the law at all. This gang, by the way, is rubbing at the maximeter now. Why am I filming? Because this man, for it is clear that he is unstable. For what? For what? That's what the fuck suits everything, also on the internet for everyone to see. And you know what for? So that the Armenian could cross. He absolutely doesn't give a shit what will happen to this guy, this one, who is sitting in the photo. They don't give a shit. But fuck, Armensky will write a post on social networks that the men's league is doing something. When I help men, I do it firstly for free and secondly without advertising.
Во-вторых, без афиширования.
Not those who need it. They know perfectly well. I also go out on the order of communication, and I help to carry out the order of communication. I also act as a mediator there with ex-wives, with dear. Sometimes I take on myself just, let's say, all these psychological moments, loads, yes, in order to unload a man who came in stress. And those people, I have to do this absolutely, by the way, for free. There is a certain Grim in the Armenian chat.
Есть некий Грим.
This is a saint, Petersburg drug addict, to whom, because he is a junkie, his ex-wife does not give children, quite reasonably. However, he has it in the chat, and he is his main administrator. That is, a person who does not see children himself. For a second, I found my son in half an hour in the city of Moscow, without breaking the law.
Не нарушая закон.
How does this happen? Probably because you have to think sometimes. You need to think with your head, and a sober head. That's why we're sitting here. In general, I sincerely feel sorry for this man from, it turns out, Sevastopol. I sincerely feel sorry for this man, most likely a man, who get into similar situations, who begin to trust incomprehensible experts, some leagues and other this whole crap, as a rule. They make a lot of mistakes, make mistakes that.
Они делают очень много ошибок, совершают такие ошибки, которые
Then
практически,
okay, I'm practically not going to breed verbiage here, which cannot be corrected.
Невозможно исправить.
In other words, these are such unforgivable mistakes. And every time someone makes a mistake, there is another example. They have another errand boy in Novosibirsk. This one also took the child, went somewhere. And he took it away so beautifully. We don't know what happened there. Those people who helped him, they are now in jail. And the lawyer who undertook to conduct his case, he is on the criminal wanted list. The Vitos are filming that, like, guys, I'm not involved here at all, I'm just a lawyer. That is, those who helped in the pretrial detention center. This one with a child is unclear where, and the lawyer is trying to prove that he, in principle, did nothing wrong, that he is just a lawyer. You see, yes, as it happens when some kind of incomprehensible game of scouts, spies, business people, those who turn the law in certain places begins. But it doesn't work that way. Absolutely does not work. There have been established schemes of work with law enforcement agencies, with guardianship authorities, with the prosecutor's office, with investigative departments for years.
С прокуратурой, со следственными отделами.
For some reason, someone is getting it. Who does, and someone does not succeed. For a second, I have always said that a person who deals even with the issue of determining the order of communication in court, he should, as a microsurgeon, generally with a legal one, accuracy, do everything. But we fucking have people who think they can cheat the system because they don't have any money. The former uncovered, yes, in full. They don't want to pay alimony. A lot of people take their children because they want it. They don't want to pay alimony. They want to take revenge on their ex on emotions. And I have excellent examples when fathers took away 2, 3 children, minors, adults, 10 years and older. Up to 10 years. I have these examples, and he is not one such example from me. For some reason, we have the results of positive work, but these have only verbiage. In general, I feel sorry for this man. I hope he gets it. Let him write to me there through contact. We will definitely help him, or at least support him, the way it really needs to be, because we also have psychologists on staff. I had an interesting case. The man said one thing. He said one thing to some, another to others. As a result, on the order of communication, he began to perform such things that he substituted himself, his parental rights, and all of us who came there.
И свои родительские права, и нас всех, кто туда пришел.
Unfortunately, this also happens. What am I leading to? Every mistake, every school, escape with the child, violation of the order of communication, and so forth, on the part of men, forms the common fence.
Формирует общую
legislative and law enforcement practice. Each new case hones this scheme.
Оттачивает вот эту схему.
If 5 years ago, even conditionally 5 years ago, the father could take the child
Отец мог взять ребенка
and go with him to the sea to relax without breaking the law,
не нарушая закон.
and then began to run. Remember, yes, the father from Moscow, who was intercepted, was immediately put on the criminal wanted list. He went to the south with his son. I really went to the sea to relax with my child. If then these were isolated cases, now it is already a system. Only you haven't given the baby away for a fucking day. For whatever reasons, it doesn't matter. You're already wanted. You're already wanted under Article 105. Everyone knows the case of Andrei Brezhkin perfectly well. Here's an example for you. Save the child, because at 134 or 135, validation was conducted normal. Because mother said that he was a drunk asshole and a drug addict. But this man in question, yes, well, a man. It is hardly possible to call him a man. This man, I mean, didn't recognize the 135th there, but the woman stood up for protection, and that's it, and that's it, and that's it. And he spent a month, squeamish, in an isolation ward, there, or somewhere in a pretrial detention center, I do not know. According to Article 105, now I didn't immediately give my son, daughter there, the child, I didn't give it in time. The next morning, you have the 105th, you're on the federal wanted list. And being in cities like Moscow, St. Petersburg, there, Yekaterinburg, Novosibirsk, you will be caught in an hour. Easy. If you don't know how a neural network works, you can study it. And every fucking case forms a practice that applies to everyone. To all fathers. But there are situations when a child really needs to be saved. When you save the child first, and then you solve the issues of a legal nature. There are situations. But just like that, in general, guys, I once again urge you not to believe the men's league. All this dust, like, well, Armenian. All this is not about men, not for men.
Не про мужчин, не для мужчин.
Why do you draw conclusions for yourself when you get acquainted with this choir of bunny boys?
С этим хором мальчиков-зайчиков.
In general, unfortunately, another man will suffer at the hands of so-called men who, instead of helping, are being promoted.
Вместо того, чтобы помочь пиариться.
Think about it. Just think logically.
Просто в логику подумайте.
Now this woman who took the child, all these people who participated in this man, this one, she will see that some kind of Vasek came to him, who?
Она увидит, что к нему пришел какой-то там Васек, который, блядь, ебать, каким представляется серьезным деловым.
They have the first organization in the history of mankind and the universe that deals with men's rights, for men's rights, and so on. Well, you all know this cunt, right? She sees it. What is she doing? She will start looking for support. Where will she go? He'll go to Marova. And those already have everything rolled back. It's been running. It's already been running for years. It's been running for decades. There are thousands of court cases there. There are loaded judges, loaded prosecutors, fucking loaded investigators, lawyers. Everything is already working like clockwork for them. They're to crush a man. She starts to yourself to explore, support after this all surfaced. And then what will happen? He's fucked up, this friend here, who got involved with these bunny boys. In general, I hope he sees it. That's why I don't tell anyone where the fuck, where I go and where I go. But for some reason, fuck, it always turns out that it's always interesting. When I fucking come to the order of communication in 2-3 hours, children are still given. Yes,
Да,
cops,
менты,
yes,
да,
the Ministry
МЧС,
of
да,
Emergency
скорая, да,
Situations,
блядь.
yes, ambulance, yes,
Опека,
fucking
все.
custody of everything.
Но детей
But
дают.
children are given. And even on the order of
И даже на
communication,
порядке
it
общения,
is
к порядку
necessary to
общения,
prepare
блядь,
for the order of
готовиться надо.
communication, fucking. We
Готовиться
need to
надо,
prepare.
заявления уже готовые
Applications
должны
should
быть, чтоб
already
там
be
не
ready,
писать.
so as not to write there. In general,
В
draw
общем, делайте
conclusions,
выводы, господа.
gentlemen.
Еще раз
I
говорю, вот
say
они,
again,
эксперты, блядь,
here they are, the
которые
fucking
формируют
experts,
сейчас
who are now forming
такую
such a law
правоприменительную
enforcement practice,
практику, от
firm
которой
which everyone will
вздрогнут
shudder.
нахер все.
You see, if we are
Понимаете,
now
если мы
standing in the
сейчас стоим
position
в позиции,
that if
что
I am
если
a
я
man
мужчина,
and I
и я
take out a
вывожу
lot of
очень
collective
много
responsibility on
коллективной
myself,
ответственности на себе, да,
yes,
как мужчина,
as a
как
man,
отец,
as a
как
father,
абьюзер,
as
там,
an
и так далее.
abuser, and so on, we have
Мы
no
не
right
имеем
to
права
make
ошибаться
mistakes
вот в
in such
таких моментах.
moments. We have
Мы
no
не
right to
имеем
mess up
права
at
вообще
all.
косячить.
We will see what
Будем
happens
наблюдать,
there.
что там получится.
Well,
Ну, ничего
nothing
там не
will work
получится. В
there.
общем,
In general, if this
если
guy
этот
does not come
дядька
to
не
his senses,
одумается,
he will not see his
дитё
child
своё он
again,
больше
I
не увидит,
guarantee.
гарантирую.
If he
Если
sees
и
it,
увидит,
it
то
won't
не
be thanks
благодаря
to
вот
these
этим
bunny
мальчикам,
boys.
зайчикам.
100%.
100%.
And here's this fool
А
in a
вот этот
t-shirt.
вот
He
дурачок
says to
маечный,
me,
он
come
мне
on
говорит,
now
давай,
for a
сейчас,
second.
секунду,
Let's get
отвлечемся.
distracted. Let's go
Давай,
to the
говорит, на
debate with
дебаты с
you,
тобой
he says.
выйдем. Говорит,
He
приезжай,
says,
говорит, ко
come,
мне
he
в
says to me
Севастополь,
in
там, или куда-то, в Крым.
Sevastopol.
Он говорит, что
There
я
are
к нему
somewhere in the
приехал на
Crimea.
дебаты.
He says that I should come to him for a
И мы
debate.
пошли с ним
And we
драться
went to fight Thai boxing with
боксом.
him. The debate is
Дебаты,
fucking,
блядь, по правилам
according to the
тайского
rules of Thai boxing. Just fucking.
Просто, блядь.
Just
Просто,
fucking.
блядь.
For me,
От меня
Armenian
Арменский
runs.
бегает.
This fucking fuck,
Этот, блядь,
understand,
хрен пойми,
asked, says,
спрашивал,
what
говорит,
kind
в
of
каком
gym
ты
do you work
тренажерном
out
зале
in?
занимаешься?
What's the
Какая
difference?
разница? Как будто
As
пришел
if
бы,
he'd
блядь.
fucking come.
Хоть
At least
один бы
one would
пришел.
have come. That's the
Вот тот
dude I
чувак, которого
told.
я
2 of
говорил,
them
их двое
died.
умерло,
Yes,
да, у
they
них
called
они
them
их
these
называли
proud
этими
gonorrhea.
гвардейцами, гонорейцами.
Or whoever. That is, he
То
was
есть
buried in
его
my
хоронили
area.
у меня на местности.
He has a funeral
У него
today, a
похороны
farewell.
сегодня, прощание,
The
в
group
группе
says
написано
goodbye
у него
to him at the
прощание по
address.
адресу. Я
I
живу
live 3
через 3
streets
улицы.
away. He
У него
has a
прощание
farewell
через
3
3
streets
улицы,
away
со мной
with
у меня
me.
машина
My
по
car
царапу.
is scratched. 28 fucking
28, блядь,
requests.
запросов
In the
в
GetContact.
GetContact. У
I
меня
have
же
it.
есть,
I
я
also
тоже
have a
премиум
premium
проплачу.
paid for. I can see
Я же
who's
вижу, кто
asking.
спрашивает.
My parents are
Родителям
already
моим уже
calling,
звонят, блядь, чтобы
fucking,
я
so that I
перестал
stop
про
writing
мужскую
about the
лигу
men's
писать. Ну не
league.
охуеть ли?
Well, isn't it fucking awesome? In general,
делайте
draw
выводы,
conclusions,
господа.
gentlemen.